The phone call at 2:17 a.m. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Michael's phone started ringing. He didn't answer it at first. Most people don't answer calls in the middle of the night unless they already know something is wrong. Michael stared at the glowing screen on his nightstand, half awake, trying to understand who would call him at that hour. Unknown number. The phone kept vibrating against the wood. Finally, with a tired sigh, he picked it up. Hello? For a moment, there was only silence. Then a quiet voice said, "Is this Michael Carter?" "Yes, who is this?" The voice on the other end hesitated. "This is Officer Ramirez from the Denver Police Department." Michael instantly sat up. When a police officer calls you in the middle of the night, your mind jumps to the worst possibilities. "Is something wrong?" Michael asked. "I'm sorry to bother you this late," the officer said carefully. "But we found your phone number in someone's wallet." Michael frowned. "My number?" "Yes. A man named Daniel Brooks." Michael froze. He hadn't heard that name in 20 years. 20. It was like someone had opened a door to a part of his life he had locked away a long time ago. Is he okay?" Michael asked. There was another pause. "I'm sorry," the officer said quietly. "He passed away tonight." Michael felt the words hit him like cold water. I don't understand," he whispered. "We found a small note in his wallet. It said that if anything ever happened to him, we should call you." Michael ran a hand through his hair. "Are you sure it's the right person?" "Yes," the officer replied. "He carried your number with him for years." "Years?" Michael stared at the dark ceiling. "Thank you for calling," he finally said. When the call ended, he didn't go back to sleep. Instead, memories began returning one by one. Michael and Daniel grew up in the same small town in Colorado. They met when they were 10 years old. Daniel was the new kid in school, skinny and quiet, wearing the same worn-out jacket every day. Some of the other kids used to make fun of him. But Michael didn't. One afternoon, when a group of boys tried to take Daniel's backpack, Michael stepped in. That was the beginning of their friendship. From that day on, they were inseparable. They played baseball in the empty lot behind Michael's house. They rode bikes through dusty streets. They talked about what they would do when they grew up. Daniel wanted to be a mechanic. Michael wanted to leave the town and see the world. "Promise me something," Daniel once said when they were 17. "What?" "That when you leave this place, you won't forget me." Michael laughed and punched his shoulder. "Of course not. We're brothers. But life has a strange way of testing promises." After high school, Michael got a scholarship to a college in California. It was everything he had dreamed of. A way out. A chance to start a bigger life. Daniel stayed behind. His father got sick, and someone had to work at the local garage. At first, they kept in touch. Phone calls. Letters. Holiday visits. But slowly, the distance grew larger. Michael got busy with classes, internships, and new friends. Daniel got busy fixing engines and paying bills. The calls became less frequent. The letters stopped. Eventually, the silence felt normal. Until tonight. At 9 a.m. the next morning, Michael was sitting on a plane back to Colorado. The town looked smaller than he remembered. The same gas station. The same grocery store. The same quiet streets. He drove to the address the officer had given him. It was the old garage. The same one Daniel's father had owned years ago. Inside, tools hung neatly on the wall. A half-repaired truck sat in the center. And there, behind the counter, was a small photograph. Michael picked it up. It was a picture of two teenage boys standing next to their bikes. Him and Daniel. 17 years old. Smiling like the world belonged to them. Michael felt something tighten in his chest. Daniel kept that there, someone said behind him. Michael turned. An older man stood in the doorway. He talked about you a lot, the man continued. Really? Michael asked quietly. The man nodded. He was proud of you. Said you made it out. Michael swallowed. I should have called more. The man gave a small shrug. Life happens. Michael looked around the garage. Did he ever have a family? No, the man said. Just this place. Michael noticed a small wooden box on the desk. Inside were old photographs, a baseball, and a folded piece of paper. His name was written on it. Michael opened it slowly. The handwriting was messy but familiar. The note said, "Hey Mike. If you're reading this, it probably means I never got the chance to see you again. I know life took us in different directions. That's okay. I just wanted you to know something. The day you stood up for me on the playground, that changed my whole life. Before that day, I thought nobody cared if I existed. But you did. And that was enough. Take care of yourself, brother. Daniel." Michael sat down heavily in the chair. For a long time, he didn't move. Outside, the wind moved through the quiet street. And for the first time in 20 years, Michael realized something painful. Some friendships don't end with a fight. They end slowly, with time. And sometimes, you don't realize how important someone was until the moment you can't tell them anymore.